my friends. Welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds, where we are a company, not a company, a podcast. But why did I say a company? Maybe we're going to become a major company like Maxwell. Who knows? Who knows? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. No, but what a company he's built. Eh? It's extraordinary. All right. So what we are is not a place where you come to be inspired or motivated, but really a place where you've made the decision to be a better version of yourself. And today's podcast really hits the core of that, because today we're going to be talking about something that many adults will struggle with. We want to help out our children. We want to help out our spouses. We want to help out a friend, a family member, a teammate. We want to help everybody. We want to protect everyone. We want to rescue everyone. And today you're going to walk away with stop wanting to save the world. I could resume the whole podcast in this. Stop wanting to save the world. Just be the example. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. Jean-Philippe is going to give you the science behind it, and Marie-Pierre, the self-reflecting mirror. So welcome once again. I'm happy to see Lise is already here. Look who's here. James is here. James, we miss you at our Tupperware meetings. Jacqueline, I think she's officially retired. Oh, I've got some extra work for you, Jacqueline. Watch me. Okay. Anyways, enough said. Over to you, Marie-Pierre.
I don't know how to say it in English, but usually we call Maria the occupatrice, the one that will keep you busy. Don't worry. Okay, so now first thing to do is time to share the podcast this morning. So you have the text in the comment that you can copy paste when you share on every social media platform. So when you see where you write your comment, just beside there's the arrows. You click on that to share everywhere, and you will see that you can also share it by messenger, by text message. So if you have someone in mind that really needs to hear this one, you can send it directly by messenger or text message to make sure that they will click on the link and listen to the podcast this morning. And then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. First, when you go on our Facebook group, Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time you post, every time you react, every time you comment on the group, you get a point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 get a voucher to go shop at the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. And then at the end of each month, we do a draw to win a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So there's two ways to be in the draw. First, with the boutique. So when you place an order, when you receive your order, make sure you always take a picture and you post on social media and tag the page Les Millionnaires des Diamants. And the second way, same thing, but with the books Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So you just receive another book, you take a picture, you're reading another book, you take a picture, you're doing another quiz book, you take a picture, you're using your agenda Les Millionnaires des Diamants, you take a picture, you can have a new picture every day to go post on social media and always tag Les Millionnaires des Diamants so you can be in the draw at the end of the month. And last thing, if you don't already have your ticket for the next conference, it's time to go and click on the link to get your ticket to be with us. It's going to be a virtual conference, so you can join us from all around the world. And even if the time is not right for you, you can watch it in replay. So when you get your ticket, you will receive the link to watch it in replay too. So make sure that you have your ticket to get it. And for those that want to be in person, we still have some place. So make sure that you send me a message as soon as you get your ticket so we can reserve a place for you.
Thank you so much. And Jean-Philippe, Marie-Pierre, the more I think of what I want to say, I really have to stick to the script, because otherwise it's going to come out a little bit too rough. I was saying, stick to the script. All right, so let me dive in right away. Okay, my friends, have you ever noticed how painful it is to watch someone you love struggle? Okay, have you ever noticed that? As a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, as a leader, sometimes watching someone suffer hurts us almost, well, especially children, hurts us more than it's going to hurt themselves who are struggling, right? And that's because, yes, we do love them, but honestly, it is instinctive, especially for women. I think this is more of a female problem, not just a female problem, but more a female problem. How can I fix this? How can I fix them? What can I do? How can I make it easier for them? At first, this all sounds like love. I'm living this in my life right now. I am not that type of person. My sister is, without going into too much detail. But what you will learn today is that question that it's going to help you understand the question that completely changed the way I look at helping people, because we all come a little bit from that background. So what if the reason we keep trying to fix other people isn't only because they need us, but what if it's also because we need to feel needed? Think about it. Who's ever given money to a homeless person? We've all done that, right? Bring down the window, give them money. Now, honestly, do we really think by giving them that $5, $20 bills, whatever, is going to change something? No. But I'm going to tell you what it does. It makes me feel good. That's the real reason. Okay. So that is a very hard question when I ask that question, even to myself. But it isn't the important one. Sometimes we become so attached to being the one with the answers. We're addicted. We love people coming up to us and asking us questions. And I remember when I started in my Tupperware business, oh my gosh, I answered everybody all the time. I felt so empowered that they were asking me, and I had the answers, solving everybody's problems, rescuing everyone, that without even realizing it, our identity becomes wrapped up in being the hero. It gives us a false sense of heroship. I know it's not a word. Okay. So if I solve your problems, you'll need me. If you need me, I feel valuable. I'll feel important. I'll feel useful. Now, please don't misunderstand me, my friends. I'm not saying we consciously think this way. When I gave money to the homeless by rolling down my window, never consciously did I say, let me give money so I feel good. It's in the personal development as years went by. I said, whoa, yeah, most of us don't understand that in the beginning. So a podcast like today is going to reveal a lot more of who we really are. Our intentions are definitely beautiful. They're definitely loving. They're generous. But good intentions can still produce the wrong results, because when we continually rescue people, we may accidentally prevent them from discovering just how strong they really are. That is one of the most powerful lessons in this chapter with Mel Robbins. The goal of love is not to create dependence. The goal of love is to build confidence, and confidence cannot be given. It has to be discovered. And today that I've been 40 years as a leader building people, a mom of three who were born, I forget their age, so I'm going to go with they were born in 1991, 93, and 95. Okay. Having a husband who I've been with now for 40 years. I'm really thinking about my own life. And one of the things I do realize today is that I need to remove myself from the equation, not to be their biggest obstacle. Our greatest lesson didn't come from comfort. The greatest lessons we ever learned in our lives, think about ourselves now, it's from the challenges we survived. Not only survived, but grew from. Your confidence didn't come because someone kept rescuing you. It came because one day you faced something you didn't think you could handle, and somehow you did. All right. That struggle became proof that you were much stronger than you believed. And that's exactly what we steal from people when we rescue them too quickly. We steal the opportunity of them to discover their own strength. And as many as you know, having raised children, like every parent, there were moments that broke my heart, literally broke my heart. Moments where they struggled so much, moments where life tested them, for me, unfairly. You understand? Just think about it. Remember when Hammett got punched out by a group of people that were anti, because of 9/11, my son's name is Hammett. Like, think about that. As a mother, every instinct inside of me wanted to remove their pain. You want to know what? I wanted to go there in their homes and punch them all out, if you want the truth be said, right? I wanted to protect them. I wanted to make everything okay, but that is what love does. But because I knew something already at that moment that was more important than anything, and that guided me through those hard moments with my children, I knew that my job was to make them use that challenge to become the best version of themselves. And that is more easily said than done, my friends. So whether you're raising children, leading a team, coaching someone, or supporting a friend, our role isn't to carry people through life. Our role is to walk beside them while they discover that they are capable of carrying themselves. That doesn't mean we abandon people, far from it. But what it does mean is I set myself as an example. I set myself as the person that levels up, the person that, you know, like my son said to me Saturday, and it really resonated and really makes this podcast even more powerful because I'm very good at listening to them, encouraging them, comforting them. And at one point, I said to my son Hamid, I said, "What are you listening to develop your leadership, to think bigger?" And then he looks at me, he goes, "You, mom." And I went, oh my God. So as I got the podcast ready yesterday, I'm really here to tell you, be the example. Anything you want to see changing in the world, be the example of the change you want to see. And trust the process. Trust the process. Stop seeing people as fragile because they're not. We've survived World War I, World War II. We've survived it was huge challenges. When I can't find a word, right? Stop believing that every struggle must be immediately removed. No, 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 no. Every challenge is an opportunity for someone to discover their own courage, their own resilience, their own confidence. We don't get to the top the easy way. The climb is difficult. Okay. And it must be difficult because in that climb, I'm developing new muscles, like metaphorically. Just look at that. As I'm struggling to climb the ladder of success or whatever, I'm developing other aspects of my life. But there is a science behind this, and I'm going to leave you in the hands of Jean-Philippe Jacques.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So, yes, we're going to break down what are the mechanics behind all of that because as we've just learned, like by reading that chapter, okay, the more you try to rescue someone, the more they sink, okay, the more you enable them, the less they grow. And we want to understand why. And there is three principles that we're going to look at today. So, why adults only change when they decide to, the difference between supporting and enabling somebody, and why consequences are the best teacher in life. So let's dive into the first part. Adult only change when they decide to. So we've actually touched that principle in the previous podcast, but it's important just for us like to understand. So I'm going to repeat it. Okay. You can't borrow motivation. You can't give motivation. Motivation is an inside feeling. Okay. It's got to come from within. Okay. So you can inspire them. And as Maria said, you can be that example. So people look at you, but you cannot like do it for them. You cannot give them a part of your motivation because if you try to do it so it feels like pressure. And remember what is happening when you put pressure on people. Pressure create resistance. The brains protect its autonomy. It doesn't like it. Okay, so the more you push, the more the person pushes you back. So stop putting pressure on people. And what is happening is when you see that, okay, most of the times that they like are pushing you away, judgment will create shame because you will judge them, you will be mad at them, and shame will actually make them hide from you. Okay, they don't want to be judged anymore. Okay, they will like put their brave face and tell you yeah, 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 but in the back they will do something else. Okay, so it's so important for you to stop putting pressure on people. Okay, it's true when the stakes are really high, the more serious the situation, the more intense the shame and the paralysis will be, and the resistance will be if you try to put pressure on them. Okay, so healing for those people begin with a personal choice. That choice can only come from within. Okay, you can't make it for someone else. The only thing that you have to do is to stay that good example for people. Number two, okay, what is the difference between support versus enabling? Okay, so the difference is very crucial. Okay, and it's very subtle. Okay, when I support somebody, okay, my thoughts, my mantra are, I believe in you. You are mon Dieu que ça se dit mal. Capable? Is that how you say it? Yeah? Oh, it sounds weird in my mouth. So it's you're capable. You can do it. Okay. But if you're enabling somebody, is I don't believe you can do this without me. So I have to be there always. So I feel like a parasite. It feels like an handicap. Okay. So support encourages responsibility, enabling removes it. Okay. One builds the confidence, the other builds dependence. You are dependent of me. And that fine line is very subtle. Okay. So enabling is when you justify or support someone's problematic behavior because you think you're helping them. Oh, I gotta be there. Like giving money to an adult child who is using it like responsibly, isn't looking for work. Okay. So what is important, okay, here is if actually you do that, okay, you say, okay, I'm going to give you money, and then you realize that they don't use it responsibly, okay, they will come back to you and ask for a little bit more. But here, what is happening is that it gives you what had just happened. They even give you that leverage to say, well, last time I give it to you, but what I saw is that you didn't use it responsibly. So now I'm not going to do it for you. And as you will see, that leverage is actually the consequence that I will talk in just a few minutes. Okay. So if you're covering for for someone because they were out drinking last night, making excuses for your spouse anger, okay, ignoring the problems to avoid conflict. Okay, so here it's really enabling somebody. It's about like taking their responsibility because you think that, oh, I gotta do something, I'm really helping them. So you think actually that you're a bit more important than the other person. But remember, they gotta make their own decision. Okay, they gotta make their own decision. And here is a metaphor that Mel Robbins used. Okay, think of healing as a game that the person you must love choose to play. Offering support is like throwing someone the ball. Okay, you can toss the ball to them and over, but they have to choose to catch it and run down the field. Okay, enabling is when you grab the ball and try to run it down the field every time they want. It's their decision. So let them drop the ball. Let me stop, okay, throwing it for them. And here is come like the most important part, I think, is consequences are teacher. Okay. And it's very, very powerful. Okay. So they say that let people learn from life. Don't shield them from the consequences of what they choose. If somebody say, I don't really want to get a job, say, okay, well, how are you going to pay your rent? There are a lot of things we can do to help people to meet the challenges in life, but not shielding them, okay, is a way to do it because they will learn from themselves. So Mel Robbins explained it that she has been doing it for so many months, like for her child, okay? She wanted her child like to be not scared at night, okay? But at some point, okay, you gotta let them, okay? In my own word, I say, let them like hit the wall. At some point, you gotta hit it, okay? And if you don't do it, that is such a great way that I'm learning stuff is when I hit the wall. A lot of people tell me sometimes, stop doing that, stop doing that. It's not working. But when I hit the wall, I learn so much and then I adapt and then I change. Well, don't mean you need to do it in every area of your life. But when you hit that wall, it's such like life is such a great teacher if you're there to learn it. And remember, okay, if you really want to help that person, it's to be that example. Okay, stay in your line, love them, like answer them, give them love, but be that example on which they can look at. And at some point, when they hit the wall, they say, who's around me that I can look at, okay, that I will be inspired by, and it will be you. So now to help you reflect on that support versus enabling, I will let you in the end of Marie-Pierre.
Thank you, Jean-Philippe. Yes, so now we understand that the problem is not that we care too much about people, that we love our people. It's okay to love, it's okay to care. But the problem is that if people always lean on us, then they never fully discover how strong they really are. And that real support doesn't remove someone's struggle, but it reminds them that they are capable of facing it. So today is the mirror, the quiz is not asking, do I care too much? But it's really asking, is the way that I'm helping building a confidence, or is it building dependence? So you want to answer honestly because it's going to help you the most. So choose the answer that sounds the most like you. For every question you can answer A, B, or C. So let's start with question number one. So when you have a family member that experience the consequences of a poor decision, do you A, immediately try to protect them for those consequences? B, you stay available while allowing them to learn from the experience, or C, you feel guilty that you didn't rescue them. Question number two. When there's someone that is asking for help, do you A, often take over because it's faster if I do it? B, help without taking away their responsibility? Or C, end up doing much more than they originally asked? Question number three. When someone you care about is growing more independent, how do you react? A, I'm happy, but sometimes I wonder if they still need me. B, I celebrate their independence even if they need me less. Or C, I sometimes feel hurt when they stop asking for my help. Question number four. Which sentence sounds most like you? A, I just want to help. B, I want people to discover their own strength. Or C, if I don't step in, who will? And question number five, I want you to complete the sentence. Real love means A, doing everything I can to make life easier for the people I love. B, walking beside the people while they become capable of standing on their own. Or C, never letting the people I love struggle alone. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? So if you have mostly A, you are the natural helper. So you have a generous heart that you generally care when someone hurt that you hurt too. And that's a beautiful quality. But your next step is to learn that helping doesn't always mean solving. So sometimes the greatest gift that you can give someone is your confidence in their ability to figure it out. So you can ask yourself, am I solving this because they need me or because it's uncomfortable for me to watch them struggle? So you can decide if really you want to help. And then if you have mostly B, you are the empowering supporter. So you've learned that lesson that real support builds independence. So you stay present without taking over, you encourage without controlling, and you believe in people before they believe in themselves. So keep protecting that balance. You're not abandoning people, but you're really helping them become stronger. And if you have it mostly C's, now you are the rescuer. So your love runs deep. You never want the people around you to suffer, but sometimes your desire to protect it becomes a burden when you were never meant to carry. So you may unintentionally be communicating that I don't think that you can do this without me. I know that it's not your intention, but it can become the message. So today, this week, practice believing in people's strength as much as you believe in your ability to help them. That's a great way to realize it. So, three ways that you can support without enabling people. Number one, pause before jumping in. So the next time someone struggles, don't immediately rescue them. Take one deep breath and ask yourself, do they really need my help or do they need my belief in them? So sometimes encouragement is more valuable than being the intervention. Number two, let them do what they can do. So if someone is capable of making that phone call, having the conversation, or solving the problem, or facing the consequences, let them. So helping should never replace the growth. And number three, Celebrate courage, not just results. So when someone takes responsibility, even if it's imperfect, recognize it. So you can say things like, "I'm proud of you for handling that," or "I know that wasn't easy. You figure that out yourself." So that confidence will grow through recognition. So remember, today the question is not who needs me, but it's who needs to me to believe in them more than they need me to rescue them. So this is the difference between creating that dependence or creating that confidence. And remember, the only way that we can really make someone change is being an example. An adult will only change when they decide to change. The only thing that we can do is being that example, is to influence and inspire that change. So remember, it doesn't you don't need to rescue them, be that example, but believe in them, and that will make a bigger difference than if you are doing everything for themselves. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and we will see you tomorrow.